Okay, Anya back. This is part 2. Gonna be playing through this game. I don't know how far I'll get. I've never actually beat it myself. It's kind of ironic. I really do enjoy this game, but I usually lose my steam by about the mid to late game. And I have seen it been beaten many times in person because, and this is gonna sound really lame, but my parents have mastered this game. I believe my mom has beaten it more than 12 times with different party combinations. And my dad has beaten it at least twice. It was always fun to watch them in the late game just mow everything down. It was really cool because this game and the Heroes of Might and Magic series were what got my parents into gaming. And so that's why I'm a bit of a fanboy to this game, because I got to grow up playing it, surrounded by people who knew how to play it. Now, what I'm going to be doing in this part is basically showing you guys the developer dungeon, which is a fun little thing. Some games like to make a little meet the developers kind of thing right inside the game, which I always think is a really awesome idea. So I'll be preparing and doing that. So one thing that's fun to do in this game is go drink random bits of water. No, really, it can actually be good. This fountain restores hit points. I really only have to do it once, but temporary might is always good. This one does spell points. So what that actually does, by using it for each person, even though I already know what it does is it adds it to the auto notes. Like I said, these are going to be really, really useful in the late game. Especially when you get a spell called Lloyd's Beacon, which allows you to teleport to specific places that you set, i.e. next to really big buff fountains. Okay, so what I'm going to do first of all is, I only have 200 bucks, and that's not very much money. So, if we were to read that letter and the rest of the nonsense that is the story, then I would know I have to come here and talk to this guy. Spoilers, I talked to him. By the way, this is going to be extremely spoiler heavy. If you want to save yourself for this game's story, then please do. It's very nice. But if you don't really, if you want to just go through the game and see what it's all about, then this would be perfect to watch, because I'm not going to go and read all of this. But you can. Anyways. So, every bar has an innkeep. You rent a room, which doesn't use your stores to rest. Fill your packs. They'll only fill it up to that much, but usually doesn't cost that much. At least in the early game, it doesn't cost that much. Have a drink. Yes, your characters can get drunk. It has benefits in, well, actually, I didn't even show you.
Coming right up.
Oh, we had a laugh. Another laugh.
Coming right up. Coming right up.
There we go, we're drunk. What a lovely drunken drunk face. And you can also tip the barkeep, which gives you like a little tip. Nothing particularly useful. Then you have, other NPCs. They talk about stuff. If it's important, it'll get noted in your auto notes. Now we're drunk. And look at that. Our maximum spell points is now 4. To give you an idea of what that lets you do, that means we can cast Torchlight 4 times, or Flame Arrow twice. So i.e. pretty much nothing for our main spellcaster. To fix things like being drunk, we go to, well, in real life probably go eat poutine because you're Canadian, or suffer if you're anybody else, or you can go to the local temple. If you're not really that hurt, 10 gold at this temple will heal all your woes. It's wonderful.
I'll be with you.
Later on, temples cost a lot more, and if you're dead, it costs a lot more. That's just common sense, right? Okay, so next thing we want to do, in every town that has a stable, check out the horse area, and you will find horseshoes. Horseshoes is a fun little item that just doesn't even tell you what it does in the description, but I'll tell you and spoil it for you. When you use it on a character, they get 2 skill points. Right now that'd be enough to level up something, which is significant, but those end up being very little in the late game. So it's a good idea to plan out who you want to use them on. I typically use them on my spellcasters because, like I said, they can always use the skill points because they end up with lots of magic skills. The sorcerer gets 6, and the cleric gets 5. As opposed to what the knight has to worry about. Their weapon, their bow, their armor, and whatever miss skills they get. So that's, we're starting with 3, maybe 4 if you want to use a shield. It'd be fancy. But one of the benefits of picking up sword is that its master skill level doesn't really increase your damage, but what it does is let you use another sword and a second sword, which other master level things give you fun things like a chance to stun or chance to cause triple damage equal to skill. Having a second sword actually is really helpful because of the crazy enchantments you can get in this game, like plus 20 to a stat. So it's nice to be able to have 2 weapons, and it adds the damage together, which makes your knight really powerful in the late game. But, so yeah, I'll probably end up using my horseshoes on my spellcasters. I could go ahead and do that right now. Yay, it makes them happy. Okay, so make sure to do that in every town you come across. Now, I know the layout of this town pretty well already, so I'm just going to be running around and breaking into people's houses. You'll see me click on these 2 for every trainer. This guy's a trainer. He's the teacher. And he teaches body magic, which all the magic expertise really do is whatever the spell says. It does nothing in general. By clicking on these 2 things, I'm recording auto notes. Teachers. Oh, I think I'm so used to the later game that I forgot that that isn't actually recorded in this one. Go me. In the next one, my Magic 7, the teachers are recorded automatically in your notes.
How are you?
So that will save me a bit of running around. So these guys are the magic guys. There's the gym. This is Buccaneer's Lair. Ha! Little tip in this game. You'll see right down here the this is basically what you're looking at. It's a little help because sometimes it's not very obvious what you're looking at. See, that's a tree. I hope you noticed. But one thing you will notice is that it has a lowercase instead of an uppercase. Now, things you can interact with usually have an uppercase, while things you cannot interact with have a lowercase. That is really handy for when you want to, when something normally is something you don't interact with, but because there's an uppercase, you can interact with it. It's not infallible, but it's usually how it works. Okay. So this is a special little fountain that if you put started your character with a luck under a certain amount, they will be able to get some permanent luck from there. I forget how much it is actually, and I don't care to look it up during a recording. But now I've got 14, 16, 16, 15. I think 15 is the cutoff. So if you, and that is a way to min-max the game. You could lower all your characters' starting luck and just go and increase it at that fountain. But I do believe it has a maximum amount of uses because I've had characters stuck at low luck before.
Hi there.
Let's see, Earth Magic, Expert,
Hi there.
Fire. This end of town.
Hi there.
Here we go. Quests, the good stuff. And a guild membership. Now these are important because they give you access to buildings that either train you in skills or sell you books.
Thank you very much.
Spell books to be specific, and there are a lot of them, so you're
Hi
going to
there.
want them.
Thank you very much.
And another quest. Will you help me find my little baby?
You'll have to sign up first.
This game can be very cliche sometimes. So see, here's a training place, and it's called Blade Ends, but I am not a member of this guild, and I cannot study there. Well, fine then, if you don't want my business.
Hello.
Extra meditation.
Hi there.
And extra bodybuilding. I think they cost 1,000 to
How
get
are
those
you?
skills. And it's only like a 500 or less for most other skills, so it's good to pick them up early. So here's the Blade Inn membership, and look, it was 25 bucks. They couldn't have, you know, asked for that fee at the entrance to the building. But no, I have to go break into some random guy's house and ask him for a membership.
Thank you very much. Hi there.
Now here's another membership,
Thank you very
but
much.
this guy has something extra special. Cobra eggs. He likes to collect cobra eggs. So if you ever find cobra eggs, you can come and sell them to him. So this game doesn't have collection quests. There's never going to be a quest where it's going to go kill 10 goblins, because that's really lame. And you know, back when video games were generally good, when they succeeded, like this one, they didn't have those dumb quests. To replace that, there was if you happen to have X number, not even X number, if you happen to have any of what I'm looking for, I'll pay you piece for piece. And so you will find some dungeons that have cobra eggs. They're not randomly put in, they are static. But it's basically like a quest that you can fill in at whatever pace you
Hi
want.
there.
Extra perception,
Hello.
and identify expert. Okay, so I have 930 gold. Just trying to think of what order I want to do things in. Well, what I can do is actually do the developer dungeon like I said I was going to. Now this game's got a fun little path to do it. So this is the bank, and you can go do your bankly stuff in there, like we talked about before. But if you click on the wall, you get a fancy scroll. That fancy scroll is already identified, and it is a fly scroll. Now that's kind of a weird thing, but on its own, kind of harmless, because, I mean, it gives you temporary fly early in the game. It's a good way to kill yourself if you're new to the game, and fly up to the sky and then die, and then have the spell end. But what you're actually supposed to use it for is the Buccaneer's Lair. That's a very strangely shaped building. It's like a little T, like a Tetris piece. But the one knob that goes off... Now I'm going to save before I do this, and you'll see why in just a second, because I'll probably reload. Well, let's call this part 2. Okay. So. I'm flying! Look at me fly! You can actually fly really fast. It uses the page up and insert keys. So if you go here and press spacebar, you'll get teleported to the middle of your new doom. That's dragons, and now you're dead. So I think you can understand why I want to...
Okay.
I think you can see why I want to save, because now I'm down to 1 hit point and I have no gold. And all I did was press spacebar on a wall. So let's load the game. And we can do this really quickly because we have modern computers. We'll never need more than 1 megabyte of memory, I swear. Okay, so let's try that again, but this time we won't be dumb. Okay, so I ran inside this weird looking building, which by the way looks like the logo of New World Computing. It was nice little putting themselves in the game there. So what this is the Shrine of the Gods. Doo-doo-doo. Now the way this game works is it's got this fun little system where there's some shrines to the different stats in the game. Like a Shrine of Might, Shrine of Accuracy, and all that fun stuff. And if you go and activate that shrine on the particular month of the year, you will get... plus 10 permanently to that stat for each person who touches it. The Shrine of the Gods is active the first month of the game, and when you touch it, it gives you plus 20 to all your stats permanently. Now, making use of this, you could think of is cheating, but it's in the game, and I think it's a fun little boost at the start of the game. Certainly speeds things up if you've done it, I don't know, 80 times already. So I'm going to try and use it on each person. See if I survive long enough to do that. And I did. Look at that. The dragons didn't nuke me. By the way, there's like hundreds of dragons outside this building. You're supposed to really fight to this thing. And one of the walls is another portal. There we go.
I'm not familiar with these surroundings.
No kidding. We just kind of teleported twice to get here after flying. I wouldn't expect you to be familiar with this place. I wish you had mouse look in this game. That would make it so much better. But this was before that time. Okay, so what we've got here is the developer dungeon. And here's the exit. So just in case you get here and are not sure what you're doing, don't immediately run and use the exit, because then you'll be gone. That's not very fun. So got this nice little elevator here. I think anyone who's ever played with a map making tool has wanted to build their own home or their workplace, which I think is really cool that they actually did it. And you'll see that some of the people are actually named after specific people. You can't interact with them, they're just dolls. It kind of feels incomplete, but I like it more of as an Easter egg. And you'll see that my map is getting filled out as I walk around, because this is not outside, this is inside. It acts differently. Now the minimap likes to give away its secrets all the time. And one thing I should have done before coming here, actually now I think about it, is to have picked up a cartographer. Because they cast Wizard Eye at expert level, which reveals treasures. So I'll have to do it the old-fashioned way and look at the ground. I'll just aim down a little bit. That's delete and page down, by the way. Does that. This game only actually has pseudo 3D, which you can see in the spear there. It's flat images set up in a 3D world, like exactly like Doom and Duke Nukem 3D.
I don't know.
And I don't have a scholar, so I can't identify things easily. Oh well. So they have desks here, which do fun things, like give you free stuff. Herbs are pretty much easy to find anywhere in the game. Some regions will be lacking or overly filled with a specific herb. That's nothing to really worry about. So I'm going to break into everyone's office and look for stuff. Because that's what the game is really about. Finding stuff. There you go. A lot of cash. No one really cares I'm taking their stuff. They don't even talk to us, so.
I don't know.
Oh. You're going to hear that a lot if I right-click on things without a scholar. But then suddenly you never hear it again once you find a scholar. Let's see here. And I know that there's actually nothing in the cubicles. The cubicles themselves are not super fancy, but then again I guess they're not really super fancy in real life either. Let's see here. So this is like a front desk of something. Lisa Whitman is unfortunately stuck in one place and tweaking out. I found something. This desk has 4 phantom cloaks in it. And they're pre-identified. Yay. So they're basically just a cloak that gives you 3 armor. You find them quite a bit in the early game. So it's not like I'm getting uber kill weapons early in the game. Let's see here. So this is something where perception comes in handy. You will find stuff in bookcases. Whoa. Apparently very random items. Because I just found a high level magic book. And I found A very low level dagger, very low level hat. Holy crap. Nice. I've just found one of the higher level fire spells.
Okay.
Huh. Okay. Well, probably won't be making much use of that spell until later, because I can barely cast it. This thing costs 25 spell points. I have 40 maximum. Let's see here. And it probably doesn't do a hell of a lot at this level either. Let's see here. Each monster takes 12 points of damage plus 1 per point of skill and fire magic. So since I'm at 1, that's 13 damage to all the monsters in sight indoors. Which, like I said, is one of those interesting spells. You can't use it outside, but it does pretty awesome to a big room, to a large room full of monsters. Which now I think about that, that's actually going to be coming up in the early game. So maybe I will use this spell at some point. Now, I guess that could have technically happened anywhere I found a bookcase that gave out random items, which there are some in their game. But I really didn't expect that to be one of the very first random items to find in the game. That's pretty lucky.
I don't know.
Okay, so remember the layout of this place. Desk. Oh. Metal boots. Nothing else. Are they identified? Yep. So that's actually a fairly decent armor boost. That would be late, early game that you start finding these. Oh, really? Well, now I just feel ashamed. Holy crap. I've done this tutorial dungeon many times. I don't usually get such great items out of it. This guy's like, why are you looking through my desk, bro? I'm like, 'cause I'm an adventurer. Ooh, a club. Well, that was useful. Literally, their value is 1. That's the only item in the game you don't need merchant to sell it at its best value. Free money! Now this might seem like it's amazing, but 10,000 money will disappear really quickly once you start buying spellbooks. And once you realize just how many monsters you're gonna pick up, almost all of them giving you money, it's like, oh boy, 10,000 bucks. I'll just add that to my other 10,000 bucks in my big pile of 10,000 boxes. Oh yeah, this room has a fun little effect. When you walk into it, you are afraid. Ha ha ha. That is so cute. And so if you want to see what the effect fear has, you just have to go over to your stats. And you notice that it's green, which means it's a very mild fear effect. Increases your might and your speed, but it tanks your personality, your intellect, and your accuracy. So basically what that means is it puts makes spellcasters have a lot less mana, but it gives them a lot gives them a big boost to their ability to actually do damage. Well, when they hit, since it also halves their accuracy. Which means that my knight / warrior does a lot of damage when they hit. Let's test that theory out. There we go. He was only one blue goblin, so I mean he had a name, but it doesn't mean he's that good. Later on, named monsters usually are pretty good at what they do. So let's see what this guy has hiding on his desk. Oh yeah, I remember that. That's a fun one. So what that just cast was Day of the Gods, which is one of the mirror magic spells, which if you don't have a mirror magic spellcaster in your party. What are you doing? It casts all these really nice buff spells on you all at once. All these spells are available in other spell schools, but it's so much nicer to just cast it all at one time. And what these spells do is that, because I guess the programmers are like, well, we're going to give them a free Day of the Gods, so we might as well give it at like some 50 spell power at master level. Just for shits and giggles. It goes away in 2 days anyways. So, let's move on. Doesn't have anything on his desk. Oh, there you go, I'm not afraid anymore. Let's see here. Nothing in there. Really wish I'd picked up a cartographer first. And I killed Trip Hawkins. Guess he was a douchebag or something, so they turned him into a monster. Nothing there. Okay. Sorry, the screen for me is very small because the game actually runs in 640 by 480 resolution. But my desktop is way bigger than that. I actually read a webcomic that had some silly Hall of a Million Doors, and well, this kind of feels like that. So I apologize. Hey, money. Money makes me feel better about it. Now, one little thing I never did notice was that little green circle there. That actually has a purpose. It doesn't just change color because it's fun. When it's out, that means that character's not ready to do their turn. But when it's filled up, that means that they are ready. That's what affects that is speed and your armor, as well as your weapon when you attack, as well as spells. All spells have a different recovery time. So weapons and spells will have a recovery time. Armor affects your recovery time, and so does speed. Now when it's green, that means there's no monsters near you, and that's good, you can rest. When it's yellow, sometimes you can rest, not always. But that means there's monsters nearby, but not right next to you. And when it's red, you're able to hit them with melee. So if that goes red, and you don't know what's going on, then it's because there's a monster below or above you. Or it's hitting you and you have the sound turned off. And that's why your characters are dying. Oh jeez. Way to make me into a liar game.
Oh no.
Plate armor. Base cost 2,000. It's always fun to buy the first pair of that. I guess I don't have to. Alright, did I check these ones? Don't quite remember. They don't take long to check. Jackpot. So I guess Mr. Peter Ryu was rich or something. Not anymore. 'Cause I'm an adventurer. I come into your home and take your stuff. And all you can do is walk forward and backwards. Video game logic. But it's fun that their names actually made it into the game. Back when games were really cool. Anyways, so just about done this area. Back to where I started. Actually, get that door up. Oh. Yes, the doors close. It's fun. They don't close on their own, they're actually closing when I open other doors. Nothing here. Getting good at reading the little map in the top right corner is really important until the late game, in which point it's like, oh haha, you found out how to read the map? That's too bad. We're gonna place multiple floors on top of every section.
I don't know.
Wand. Empty bottle dispenser. Those are fun. Now, these two things here are vending machines. So cleverly designed. Let's see. This one... Oh, that's right. It gives out food, but it also gives a chance of getting poisoned. Well, I'm not going to abuse that too much because...
Success.
Well,
It
the
worked.
game already gave me a late game chainmail right at the beginning of the game.
Success.
So what I did was I put red berries, which make a an HP potion, literally 10 hit points, and a blue root for a blue potion, which gives you 10 magic points. You mix them together, and voila, you get cure poison. Do not get too mix happy though, because once you start mixing white and black potions together, you can make... Well, actually, you'll probably find out before you get to that point. Once you start mixing colors together, if you get to a wrong combination, it'll blow up in your face. Sometimes it causes a little bit of damage. Sometimes it'll knock your character right flat out. Other times it will annihilate them, and you cannot resurrect an annihilated character until later in the game. So have fun with that. Mix responsibly, yo. And I believe this one... Oh yeah, it costs money but gives you a random potion. So we'll just hold on to those for now. Hey, more stuff. I like stuff.
I don't know.
Crappy long sword.
I don't know.
Another large shield. Money.
I don't know.
A really crappy ring. Okay, so I think that's the entire dungeon. It's a nice little boost in the early game, especially when it gives you so much good stuff. I actually missed a little section. No, I went through here. Here's the front desk. I'll go back to looking normal. The normal look is fun until you realize you can't see like anything right in front of you. That's short. Alright, I want to get down there. So, staircase over here. And we're back to this hellish landscape. Okay. So we just dodged a whole bunch of explosions. And look, there's another explosion waiting to happen. So, how are we going to get out of this one? First, we're going to save, because, getting hit by a single one of these guys will kill one of my people. I don't really feel like paying to resurrect him right now. Go and hit that wall. There you go. And we're back. With about 10,000 extra gold and a bit of extra equipment. Nice spear. Just bad I don't have a spear user. The only person I haven't actually selected a melee weapon type on yet is the archer. Now I have some options, but I'll go over them when I actually get to that point. Let's see, how long have I been recording? Probably about time to wrap this up. So here's time to show you exactly why these temples are nice. If I rest, I will lose my buffs. But if I heal through a temple, if you push tab, it goes through your people. That's really handy. Oh yeah, donating is not useless. For instance, if you donate a couple times, you'll be like, okay, nothing happens right away. But if you donate enough, there you go. Take my money.
Luck be with you.
We get a little something extra. Usually. That's weird. Used to be that you donated about 10 times, they would cast Wizard Eye or something for you, but not this time. Or some little protection from fire. So if we want to see just how ridiculous having massive hundreds of stats is, and just go beat on something. Won't even bother going into turn-based because, well, we have hundreds of stats, right?
Gotta know. Yep. Well,
So you can totally play this game without pausing it. For melee, it's like auto-aim hits. As long as they try their melee, they will get a chance to hit you as long as you're still next to them.
hi.
And there's a person who teaches you expert learning.
Good day.
I don't think I actually pointed it out before, I just kind of glazed over it, but people who teach you expert in something also know about the person who teaches you the master level. So he tells like, oh, I think he's still living in Silver Cove. Thank you, I guess. That narrows it down to which region of the world. Yeah, it would be a little bit broken to play this game with such high stats, so it's nice that they only actually last you the 2 days, 2.5 days. But we don't want to cheat that badly. So let's rest. I believe that goes away if you rest. Yep, so now I don't have the hundreds of stats. I only have like 40. And I have all this stuff to take care of. So that'll actually be part of the next, that will be covered in the next part. I'm going to get my 2 followers, which go into these 2 spots here. Which is very dramatic. And then I will go about killing the entire local populace of monsters. Because that's what these games are all about. Killing shit and picking stuff up. And putting it on your paper doll. Look, it's a dress-up game for adults. Because there's cleavage. Anyways. It is now 2:15 in the morning, and time to put this to bed. Have a good night, everybody.